Now you're talking. We could add a whole new wing into the house. I can have my own bathroom with a hot tub, skateboard ramp, and bowling alley. What do you say, Dad? Here's a floor plan. Love, Alex, the architect. Dear Alex, slow down there, buddy. We're not gazillionaires. We can't build you a condo. I was thinking of something like a treehouse. We can build it together. You won't have to share it with your brother unless you absolutely want to. Love, Dad. You mean it, Dad? I do, Alex. Dear Ethan, do you want to play with me in my treehouse? Love, your big brother, Alex. Yes! Thanks, Alex.
Okay, so that was the end of our book. Go ahead and turn our cameras back on. Let's talk about this. So, for most of the story, Alex kept complaining, right? I don't want to share the room with my brother. He snores and he's loud and he jumps everywhere. We saw that he tried a couple of different things. He tried using tape to separate the room, his side and his brother's side. He complained to his mom, to his dad, and finally, his dad helped him to get his own space, right? He built a whole treehouse for him. But when Alex got to the treehouse, he realized that he was kind of lonely. So he decides to invite Who to come and play with him. Alexa?
His little brother.
He invites his little brother to come and play with him. Because even though he complained about him a lot, it can be fun to have someone around, right? It's not as fun when you're just by yourself all the time. So, in that story, in that book, where does he, or which of our author's purposes do you think that book was? Do you think it was to persuade us, to inform us, or to entertain us? Brianna, what do you think? Was it a persuade book? Was it an inform book? Or was it an entertain book? Don't worry about that right now, Nakai. Let's focus on what we're doing. Okay, an entertain book. So, let's see. So our story was I Want a New Room, right? Let me go ahead and... You know what? Let me see if I can find a picture of the book. I think that'll be good. Oh, here we go.
Mama,
We'll use a picture of the title.
I'd ask you not to bring her in. I guess she's happy.
I know I didn't want her to start.
So the story was called I Want a New Room. We said the author's purpose was to entertain. The author was trying to make us feel something. Yes, Bailey.
Did we do this too, or do we look on your...
We're just gonna do this together. We're just talking
Okay.
about it. This is just so we can keep our thoughts organized here. So it's nothing for us to do. It's just to help us all when we're talking. Yes, Jadine.
It's also kind of persuading because he's persuading his dad to have his own room.
Okay, so let's talk about that. The audience. When the author was writing this book, who do you think the author wanted to read it? When the author was making this book, who do you think the author was thinking was going to read this book? What do you think, Jadine? Who was the author thinking was going to read the book?
A kid.
Okay, so the audience was kids. And I like what you said. In a lot of the book, Alex was writing letters to his dad, right? Saying, come on, Dad, I need to get my own room because of this, because of that, because of this. He had different reasons for wanting his own room. But think about the audience for the book. The audience for the book wasn't the dad. It was kids, right? Can the kids give Alex his own room?
No.
No. So even though in the story Alex was talking to his dad and trying to persuade his dad, the book isn't trying to persuade us anything, right? Because we can't give Alex his own room.
No, it's in a book.
No, it's in a book. It's like make believe, right? It's made up.
Yeah.
So even though it sounds like it's a persuade book, this one's to entertain. Because they don't want us to actually go and give Alex his own room. They just want us to feel something.
Oh.
What are some things that you felt in this book, Jadine?
I don't know.
What are some emotions you might have felt when we were reading the book?
Kind of annoyed because I don't want to share a room with my sister.
Okay, so annoyed. So if we've ever had to share a room, we can kind of sympathize with Alex, right? We know that it's not always fun.
Yeah. But
Okay,
you could go to the room.
how else could we have felt? Might maybe annoyed, because we might have shared a room, but what else?
Mad?
Maybe mad, so if we were feeling annoyed, it could have been mad too.
Yeah.
Who else can give me an emotion? What's another emotion you might have felt while reading the book? We said annoyed, we said mad. Nakai?
I forgot.
Okay. Noah, what do you think?
Frustrated.
Frustrated, very good. I think another one that I felt here was I felt happy. I thought the book had some funny parts. Like when he drew the picture of his brother as the walrus with the crayon sticking out of his nose. I thought that was pretty funny. Where they showed his brother bouncing on the bed because Alex wouldn't let him go to the other side and walk out the door. I thought that was pretty funny. What was our topic? What was the book all about? The book was focused on what? Haley?
Alex was trying to get a new room.
Okay, it was focused on Alex's room. He wanted a new one. So our focus was Alex's room. What do you think the author's message was? What was the author trying to get us to learn or to understand? What do you think, Jadine? What was the author trying to get us to understand or to learn?
He's trying to get us to understand it's not always bad to share a room with someone.
And why do you think that? What did the author do that showed us that it's not always bad to share a room?
He's showing us that Alex is doesn't want to share a room with his brother or anything, but at the end when he gets his own room, he feels pretty bad about not sharing a room anymore.
Okay, so you're right. For most of the book, Alex is complaining, right? Oh, my brother does this, and oh, my brother does that. And then when he gets his own room, the tree house, we see him sitting there and they showed us a picture. He's trying to play ping pong, but he's by himself.
I used to share a room with my sister when I was little, but now we have our own rooms.
Mm-hmm. And we see what happened with Alex, right? Alex gets his own room, and then all of a sudden, he's bored. He's lonely. He's got no one to play with. So he invites his brother, hey, do you want to come play with me in the treehouse? So I think you found it. It's not always bad to share a room. It's not always bad to have to share a space with someone.
Yeah, because sometimes it could be fun, or sometimes it could be bad.
Yeah, so maybe sometimes it could be bad, but sometimes it could be pretty fun.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kylie?
I think the same as JD, because me and Kayla share a room, and it's pretty annoying at times to share a room, but sometimes it's not, because me and Kayla get to play with each other.
That's true. So sometimes, yeah, you might get annoyed with each other, or you might go, oh, why can't you just leave me alone? But then sometimes it's pretty fun because you get to hang out and you get to play together, right?
Yeah. That's where me and Kayla go, because Kayla talks all the time.
I know how that feels. Sometimes your brother or your sister keeps talking and talking, and you're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm trying to take a nap, or I'm trying to go to sleep. Just stop talking. And they go,
Yeah.
but what about this?
Yesterday, when they did the thing on Wednesday, I was really tired, so that's why I didn't go to school. And then Keely couldn't get on the thing, so she was watching with me in our mom's room, and I could not fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard for me to sleep, but still, Keely kept on talking about random stuff.
Yeah, that's what brothers and sisters do sometimes. What about the author's craft? This book was a little bit different than most books that we read. Normally, the books just tell us a story. How was this book different from most of our stories? What did they do that was different? Because it wasn't just Alex telling us about things. It was Alex talking to who? Bella? Who was Alex talking to?
His brother?
At the end, yes. But mostly, who was Alex talking to in the book?
His parents?
His parents. So, JD, the author's craft is, what did the author choose to do that made the book better? So it could be how they chose to write sentences or how they described things. But in this case, the author made a very specific choice. Instead of Alex talking to us, Alex was talking to mostly dad, but mom and dad for the most part. And Bella's right, at the end he talks to brother too. But how was Alex talking to these other people in the story? He was doing what? He didn't just walk up to them and talk to them. What was he doing? Jada?
Writing.
What was he doing, Jada? How was Alex talking to dad in this?
He was writing letters to him.
A little bit louder, Jada, sorry.
He was writing letters to the dad.
Okay, he was writing letters to him. Normally in the book, we don't read books that have a bunch of letters, right? But that's what this book was. It was letters back and forth between dad and Alex, or dad and mom, and at the end, between Alex and his brother. So the author, instead of writing a book like normal, decided to write this book like it was letters. So Alex talks through letters. And Brianna, we are going to do this with some other books, but we're going to stick to just this book for today.